The South Carolina Green Party.
scgreenparty.org.
Go green today. And we have a lot to cover on this show. Because yesterday, there I am minding my own business on Woodruff Road. And what do I see? Fiction Addiction on Woodruff Road in Greenville. What did I see, Greg?
I have no idea.
I saw this gigantic bus. It had this guy's picture on it. It said, an American son. Like who? I mean, I assume most people are American sons or daughters. Why would you have to say that unless you're trying to tell people that you are? Oh, wait. And I saw Marco Rubio.
Ah. Well, now, wait a second. Is he running for president? Or is he like got a band or what? Something?
Well, see, he's got a book.
Oh, okay. So, but he's got a bus?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever heard. I mean, we had Jeff Charlotte on the show, and he's done book tours, and I don't think he had a bus.
Well,
and he's a New York Times bestseller.
You know, the last bus I saw was from, what's his name? The Texas guy.
Oh, Rick Perry?
Yes, he's the last bus I saw. You know, I was telling one of my friends what I think it is that Barack Obama has, he has the connect the dots, the map of fame. You write a book, and then you are elected, and then you run for president. Especially if you want to be the first of something, like the first black president or the first Latino president.
Right.
This is what you do. He's written a book, and now that he's already got Congress, and so I guess he wants to move up, maybe to governor or senator, like Barack Obama, and then run for president. Or it may be that he hopes to be chosen for vice president now, so that it will be an easy mark for him to go further. But the book came first. I find that interesting. It used to be that you were president and then you wrote a book.
Right.
And now you write a book. Christine O'Donnell has written a book. Of course, Sarah Palin. And, of course, our governor, Nikki Haley, has written a book.
Well, now,
and American Story, American Story, and this is American Son. What is this American crap?
Well, you know what it is.
Just because it's their way of saying they're really, you know,
we're brown, but we're acceptable.
We're brown, but yeah, you can hang around. I believe it was white, you're all right. Brown, you can hang around. Black, you got to stay back. I believe that's how it went. And they're, you know, telling everybody that they're good enough to be elected. And these, of course, are all Republicans we're talking about. But yeah, Channel 4 was out there, people were out there, and then that horrible thunderstorm came. I thought that was just a riot because it was just pouring. And, you know, I don't know if it hurt Fiction Addiction, you know, their polling numbers or their book sales. I hope so. But I just think it's interesting that this is a pit stop for every Republican that's got a book or got this or got that or wants to plug himself. He doesn't have the guts to run for president with everybody else. He doesn't have the guts to actually put himself on the line out there, but he will write a book and sort of suck up so he can try to get himself in with Mitt Romney, which, by the way, y'all probably didn't know, or I mean, I don't know if this is covered in the book, but he was a Mormon.
Who was? Mitt Romney?
No, Mitt Romney's already a Mormon.
Marco Rubio was a Mormon.
Yes, it says if you're in Gwinnett County at lunchtime, this is Gwinnett, I'm not in Gwinnett, but this is something I'm reading from. Where is it?
Atlanta Journal-Constitution?
It is. Think about popping in on U.S. Senator Marco Rubio. He's already a senator. I guess he wants to be VP. There's no question he wants to be VP. Who has a noon book signing, blah, 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 blah. Do not expect him to enlighten you on the vice presidential selection process as he signs An American Son, $26.95. Says the senator has said he's sworn off such talk. What the hell is he doing that? I mean, he's just walking around with his political book. He's a senator, but he's not going to talk about politics while he's on his vice presidential selection process. It says religion is one surprising topic that Rubio, the son of Cuban emigres, is willing to discuss. His publicist encourages it, in fact, probably because he's trying to get selected by a Mormon candidate. Anyway, that's probably. Like many other immigrant families before them, the Rubios sampled the American cafeteria, moving from Catholicism to Mormonism to Catholicism to Southern Baptist, and then back to Catholicism. Well, I guess that covers the Republican voters right there. I think they just covered them. How convenient is that? How convenient is that? Okay. Quote, I went where my parents went. I've been raised Mormon Catholic the majority of my life. When I was 8 years old, we did join a Mormon church for a couple of years. And then, of course, when he was recently on Fox News, he said that it was because of the family orientation of Mormons that made his parents pick that church. I think that his parents probably thought, someday you're probably going to be running for president, and this guy named Mitt Romney is going to do... Right, we need to make sure that you've been a member of everything. And speaking of Romney, he's had an interesting week. Did you see the pictures of the jet ski?
Oh, are these in his boathouse?
His vacation home.
Well, Nancy and I saw the canoes that were behind them when they were being interviewed by one of the female news anchors. And yeah, they were like in their boathouse, like everyone has a boathouse.
Oh,
with
canoes
in it.
It says, let's see. Like an early independent, this is from Boston. This is from the Boston Globe, yes. This is by somebody named John Vanocci. It says, like an early Independence Day gift to Democrats, there it was, the image of a grinning Mitt and wife Ann enjoying a perfect summer day on a jet ski on Lake Winnipesaukee in Wolfboro, New Hampshire, where the GOP's presumptive presidential nominee owns a lust-inducing lakefront vacation home. Of course he does. I think he has 5 homes, right?
I'm sure he's got more than I got.
Well, he's got 5, right. The photo of the contented pair skimming joyfully over the water is a natural bridge to the next less quoted line from Fitzgerald. The Fitzgerald line quoted is "The rich are very different from you and me." And the quote after that from F. Scott Fitzgerald's short story, 1926, "The Rich Boy." They possess and enjoy early, and it does something to them, makes them soft where we are hard, cynical where we are trustful, in a way that unless you're born rich, it is very difficult to understand. Romney would say he was born comfortable, and not as rich as he became from investing in struggling companies and making millions whether they lived or died. But during a slow holiday news week, the photo was featured in newspapers and websites, including the Romney-friendly Drudge Report. Oh, my God. I guess when Matt Drudge is making fun of your money, you might have some trouble. Because it was, who lives in Palm Beach, yes. It was quickly compared with the September 2004 shot of Kerry windsurfing off Nantucket, tacking back and forth in the gusty air. Back then, Republicans swiftly turned the footage of the Democratic presidential nominee, which was also taken by news crews, into a deadly campaign spot that hit on 2 levels. It showed a candidate in an elite setting, engaged in a sport not considered touchstone for the common man or woman. And it also reminded voters of Kerry's propensity for shifting with political winds. And so, we are going to be seeing a lot of that picture of Romney having a wonderful time jet skiing.
Well, once again, this goes back to something we talked about on an earlier show. The people in the United States, I honestly believe the people in the United States don't have a problem with political leaders who are rich, even those who act rich. The Kennedys acted rich.
Yes, they did.
They went out on Hyannisport and they did their tag football and so on like this. And this was clearly, we ain't like you folks.
Right.
We have stuff like this to do while you're out there digging coal out of the ground. And we get that. But you see, Romney doesn't get that. He doesn't get that his money comes from all those people that he threw out of jobs, and so that he could make his other rich friends even richer and himself richer still. So,
well, the Vanity Fair has just broken a big story, and this goes along with this, and also the AP followed up the offshore accounts. This is why Mitt Romney has not disclosed his financial records, is because I think he probably doesn't even know what they all are. But
well, that's probably true.
Let's see, he's got Bermuda, and where else? It's a potential 1.9 million. He has 250 million estimated. He's not quite sure how much he has. Enough to say he's going to bet you $10,000, as a matter of course. But this is fascinating. The Bermuda account was transferred to his wife's ownership one day before he was sworn in as Massachusetts governor. So it was put in her name, so they can say it's actually not his. It says Romney's ownership of the offshore firm did not appear. This is Sankaty is the name of it. Sankaty. Only if you get the tax records can you confirm they continue to own it, because he said he did not. His wife does, so actually, technically, he could say that. The mystery surrounding Sankaty, or however it's pronounced, reinforces Romney's history of keeping a tight rein on his public dealings, already documented by the use of private email and computer purges as Massachusetts governor, and his refusal to disclose his top fundraisers. This Bermuda company has almost no assets, according to Romney's 2010 tax return, but such partnership stakes could still provide significant income for years to come. Tax expert added that the lack of disclosure makes it impossible to know for sure. Quote, University of Colorado law professor Victor Fleischer says, we don't know the big picture. You think? Most of the ownership of stocks and bonds, but in some cases he continues to own management interests that fluctuate greatly in the value long after his time with the company. Okay. This is just one of them. Apparently he has many different offshore accounts. He will not talk about them. He will not disclose them. How much money do you suppose he really has?
Well, I mean, he's admitting to 250 million plus.
That's what he's admitting to, and so I wonder how much these accounts come to.
Well, and once again, I don't get it. If you're not ashamed of how you came by this wealth, why would you not be out there trumpeting it?
Yeah.
Doesn't
this show what a great businessman he is?
Well, but I mean, that's his argument.
Right.
But he's not apparently willing to back it up with complete substantive figures.
Yes.
And it sounds to me, and people, once again, listeners, need to be aware. We're not just talking about Mitt Romney. This is the same kind of bull was done by Dick Cheney when he became vice president. He continued to get paid huge sums of money by the company that he worked for.
Yes. And
once again goes back to the Reagan administration with, and here we're going to get, locally in, I believe, because I think Floror Daniel had dealings with them, the Bechtel Corporation.
Right.
And they, once again, it seems as if every administration that comes in, they've got their pet group of corporations that help them get to where they are, that they then help them to become richer still, and all of it coming out of taxpayer and ratepayer and shareholders' hides. And it's just, I don't understand it. I don't understand why people aren't upset about it.
And the Vanity Fair piece is pretty damning. It says another offshore financial expert quoted by Vanity Fair as being downright weird. That's what Romney's calling. Romney's calling the piece downright weird. It says, 55 pages of Romney's 2010 tax returns were devoted to offshore activity.
Wow.
55 pages. If Romney felt comfortable releasing 2010 with 55 pages of offshore accounts, what could be on the earlier returns? It says also, Romney's campaign decided to, won't answer. So that's what's going on with the so this is the kind of person running who does not want to disclose his financial records. He thinks, why doesn't he not want to, this is my other question, are American banks not good enough for somebody who wants to run for president of America?
Right.
Why aren't American banks good enough?
Well, I would assume they have disclosure requirements that he doesn't want to deal with.
That's the only thing I can think of.
It's the only thing I can think of.
So he should be bringing his money into this country. He should be bringing it here so that it benefits all of us.